Hello there, and thank you very much for joining us today in this new Azure Portal how-to video. Today we learn how to view delegated resource groups in Azure Lighthouse in the Azure Portal. And for that, we have George Enninful, who's going to show us how to do that. So thank you very much for joining us today, George.
Thank you very much, Leon. Hello, my name is George Enninful. I'm a program manager on the Portal team for Azure Lighthouse and Azure Arc for Service. In this episode of the Azure Portal How-To series, you'll learn how to view your delegated resource groups and subscriptions in Azure Lighthouse. You'll also get an introduction of the Azure Lighthouse's integration with Azure Active Directory Privileged Identity Management. Let's head over to the Azure Portal to get started.
Let's see it. Let's go.
So if you haven't used Azure Lighthouse before, you can search for Azure Lighthouse in the global search. And then once you've used it, you'll find it in the list of recently used services the next time you go there. So clicking on it navigates you to the Azure Lighthouse landing page. So Azure Lighthouse allows customers to delegate their resource groups and subscriptions to service providers who can perform additional management tasks on them based on the roles that have been assigned to them. So to view the delegations you've assigned to your resource providers, you click on View Service Provider button, and you're navigated to the Service Provider Overview page. So on this page, to view your delegations, you can either click on Delegations in the left, or you can click on the View Delegations button below. So on the Delegations blade, we group your resource groups and subscriptions under the different service providers that you're working with. So for example, Fabricam Managed Services has the list of subscriptions below, whereas the Relic Cloud Managed Services has a mix of resource groups and subscriptions delegated to them. So let's click on one of the role assignments to view the details. So over here, we can see the details of the role assignment. We're showing you the description of the offer of what the service provider will be giving you. And we also show you the subscription that you've delegated to them. So we'll head over to the role assignment tab to view details of the role assignment. So on this tab, we show you Tier 1 support, which is a group that consists of many members. So all the members in this group will have access to the list of roles on this page. So for example, the reader role allows the service providers to view all resources, but does not allow them to make any changes. Whereas the contributor role grants them full access to manage all resources, but does not allow them to assign roles in Azure RBAC, manage assignments in Azure Blueprint, or share image galleries. We also show you the different access types in Azure Lighthouse. We have the permanent roles and eligible roles. Originally, Azure Lighthouse only supported permanent roles, but with the integration with Azure Active Directory Privileged Identity Management, we are also supporting eligible roles. Eligible roles have many benefits that permanent roles do not have. Eligible roles are activated just on a just-in-time basis. They have a maximum activation duration of 8 hours. You can require your service provider to use multi-factor authentication in Azure. And then once the role expires, they can reactivate. They can also require that the eligible roles have an approver workflow associated or not. So if you click on this one approver link here, we show you the details of the approvers for this delegation. So essentially, the integration of Azure Active Directory Privileged Identity Management with Azure Lighthouse aligns with the Zero Trust security strategy, which uses the principle of least privilege, and it adds an extra layer of security when others are accessing your environment.
Thank you very much, George. It was great. And thanks every one of you for watching. Please try this out. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Follow us on Twitter. And thanks again for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.